Welcome back to the Deep Dive, everyone. We're kicking things off with a huge match this week, Thursday, at the San Siro.
Yeah, the UEFA Nations League quarterfinal first leg.
Italy versus Germany.
A massive one for Tipsmodo.
And, of course, for both Italy and Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a spot in the Nations League finals is on the line.
Right.
But not just that, the winner of this tie actually gets to host the entire concluding tournament this summer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot more on the line than just, progressing to the next round. So
Wow.
we're going to do a deep dive into the match preview and give you all the team news.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, let's start with Italy. They finished second in their Nations League group, just behind France.
Yeah.
And they lost to France at home.
They did, yeah. Narrowly, but it was a defeat nonetheless.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to look at the bigger picture here. Under Spalletti, prior to that loss, they'd won 4 out of 5 matches, which, suggests they're on an upward trajectory, particularly after a fairly disappointing Euro 2024 campaign.
Right. It's interesting to consider their ambition in this tournament, right? I mean, missing out on the last 2 World Cups. This is a chance to really get that national pride back.
Absolutely. I think this Nations League is a real opportunity for them, a chance to sort of restore some of that pride, build momentum for the 2026 World Cup. There's also the historical context, right? Big rivalry with Germany.
Right.
And of course, that 5-2 defeat they suffered in 2022, they'll want to bounce back from that one.
Yeah. I'm sure that still stings a little bit.
Yeah.
This time, though, they've got the home advantage for the first leg at the San Siro.
They do, yeah. And I think Spalletti will be looking to utilize that, seize control of the tie right from the start, I think.
Yeah, their recent form, it's been a bit up and down, but
yeah.
WWD, WWL.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of everything. Let's turn our attention to Germany now. They absolutely dominated their Nations League group. Yeah. Finishing top, they had that emphatic 7-0 win over Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Wow.
And even though they drew 1-1 with Hungary at the end of the group stage, they're actually unbeaten in 6 matches since their exit from Euro 2024.
And their scoring record in this Nations League campaign has been remarkable, averaging 3 goals a game.
It is, yeah. They're free scoring, and that really emphasizes their intent. They want that Nations League trophy.
Yeah, a trophy that I can't believe they haven't won this yet.
Yeah, it is surprising, isn't it? This is actually Germany's first knockout tie in the Nations League.
Oh, wow.
So that adds an extra layer of intrigue to the match, They'll be looking to maintain this robust form, even though, they are carrying some injuries. While that second leg in Dortmund will be crucial, Nagelsmann knows a positive result in this first leg would set them up nicely for a potential semifinal against Denmark or Portugal.
It's true. And Germany, they tend to turn on the style in these big matches, so I expect them to be aggressive at the San Siro. WD, their form has been pretty consistent.
Yeah, really consistent. Okay, let's move on to some team news now, starting with Italy. Spalletti seems to have settled on a 3-man defense, but they're struggling with a few key injuries, particularly in their wingback positions.
Right.
DeMarco's definitely out with a muscular injury, and there are doubts about Cambiaso as well.
So what does that mean? Who's going to fill in?
Well, potentially, we could see Udogie and Ruggeri come into the starting lineup.
Okay.
There's also talk of a potential senior debut for Quesady in midfield.
Really?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Locatelli is not in the squad, and their top scorer, Retegui, has also had to withdraw with a muscular problem.
Oh, that blow.
It is, yeah.
But they still have Kean. He's been on fire in Serie A recently.
He has, yeah. And Raspadori is another option. Whether Spalletti risks starting both of them against a potent German attack, though, remains to be seen.
Right, okay. And Germany. Injuries there as well, right?
Yeah, they have quite a few, actually. Havertz, Henrichs, Nemecha, Pavlovic, Ter Stegen, and Wirtz are all out. It's a long list, and they're all big players.
Yeah.
However, there is some good news. Goretzka is back in the squad after a long layoff.
Okay.
And Bissek has received his first senior call-up.
Right.
It's also worth mentioning that Kimmich is close to earning his 100th cap.
Well.
Yeah, he's currently on 97. Adeyemi has been recalled following some improved club form. And Amiri is back in the frame for the first time in 4 years.
4 years, wow. What about in goal with Ter Stegen out?
Well, it looks like it'll be a toss-up between Ortega, Baumann, and Nubel. But honestly, despite the missing players, I think we at Tipsmodo expect Germany to stick with their dynamic, attack-heavy approach.
Well, let's look at the potential lineups then, shall we? For Italy, we could see Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Buongiorno, and Bastoni in defense, Politano, Barella, Ravella, Tonali, and Udogie in midfield, and Raspadori and Kean up front.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And for Germany, we could see Nübel starting in goal, a back four of Kimmich, Rüdiger, Schlotterbeck, and Mittelstädt,
Mhm.
Anderson Gross in midfield, Sané, Musiala, and Atimi supporting Kleindienst up top.
So we've got a pretty good idea of how both teams might line up, and it looks like it's going to be a really tight match.
It does, yeah. We here at Tipsmodo are expecting a fiercely contested first leg, for sure.
Yeah, huge stakes, a Nations League semifinal place, the chance to host the finals, it's all on the line.
Absolutely.
And some big questions, right? Can Italy use the home advantage at the San Siro to overcome that previous defeat to Germany?
Yeah.
Can Germany maintain their form despite all those injuries? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. We'll be watching closely at Tipsmodo.
So to quickly recap, we've covered Italy's recent form and their desire to prove themselves on the international stage.
Yes.
Germany's dominance in their group and their ambition to claim that Nations League trophy.
Right.
We've also looked at the team news for both sides, the potential lineups, and the key players who are missing through injury.
Exactly.
So listener, we encourage you to take these insights from us here at Tipsmodo and use them as you think about this massive game between Italy and Germany.
Yeah, and don't forget, for expert betting tips and more in-depth analysis on this match, as well as a whole range of other football fixtures, visit our website, www.tipsmodo.co.ke.
We can give you the edge.
That's right. This first leg promises to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah.
And we at Tipsmodo are dedicated to providing you with all the knowledge and analysis you need to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. So don't miss out on our expert betting tips. Head to www.tipsmodo.co.ke now and see how our insights can help you make informed decisions.
Yeah.
That concludes our deep dive into the Italy versus Germany clash.
Great stuff.
We'll be back soon with more expert insights from the world of football.
Yeah, we will.
But until then, enjoy the match and remember to visit www.tipsmodo.co.ke for all your betting needs.
Cheers.
See ya!